Before we get into today's juicy episode, I want to let you in on something special. It's May, which means it's Masturbation Month, and there is no time like the present to reconnect with pleasure on your own terms. So, my offering to you is Pleasure for One, a self-paced e-course designed to help you do exactly that. It's normally $33, but for the entire month of May, as one of my favorite listeners, you can get it for just $10. All you have to do is use code LOVEIS at checkout. You can find it at staceyherrera.com/P41. That's staceyherrera.com/P41. And the link is also in the show notes. No matter what sexual season you're currently in, Pleasure for One will meet you right where you are. No performance, no pressure, just presence. Now let's get into it. This is the final episode in our sexual season series, and I wanted it to feel like an exhale. We have moved through the reawakening of spring, the fire of summer, and the depth of autumn. And now we are arriving at something quieter. A season that is often misunderstood and even more often met with resistance. Sexual winter. Winter is not the absence of desire, contrary to popular belief. It's the season of pause, of rest, of replenishment. Your body might feel less responsive. Your desire might feel more distant. But that doesn't mean that anything is broken or that anything is wrong. It just means that you're in a different kind of rhythm. I remember being so deep in sexual winter after a particularly stressful time, and it just felt like my body shut down. I couldn't get turned on, not by myself, not by someone else, and of course I tried so many things, trying to do all the things to spark desire. I read erotica. I bought a new crystal wand. I started scheduling sexy time, and it just didn't work. It was, I think, because I was trying to force it. The more I tried to do it, the more disconnected I felt. When I stopped trying to push and force things to happen and just let myself be in the season that I was in, things started to change. I started paying attention to comfort instead of arousal, clean sheets, warm sea salt baths, the way lotion felt on my skin. So it was like personal intimacy without expectation. And eventually, albeit slowly, naturally, spring came back. But I want to emphasize that sexual winter is just part of the cycle. Just like in nature, winter is not death, it's dormancy. When the trees pull their energy inward, when animals start to conserve their resources, when the ground goes fallow so it can come back richer. That's what sexual winter is like. Now, sometimes it arrives because of physical changes, hormones, illness, medication. It can also be tied to stress, grief, disconnection. It could be relational. If you are experiencing mistrust or feeling distant, if there are unresolved things between you and your partner, sexual winter can come on suddenly. But sometimes it is just the body saying, not right now. And for those of us in relationships, that can be hard, especially because one partner might worry, am I broken? Will I ever want to do it again? Is this the end of us? Is my partner going to check out if that part of our relationship is dormant for a while? And the other partner might be thinking, is it me? Am I not good enough? Are we drifting apart? So all of those kinds of things come up during sexual winter. The fear is real, but when we don't talk about it, it just festers. We start pretending, withdrawing, trying to be what the other person wants. but also resenting that we can't be what they want, or resenting that they don't notice. That is very common. Winter is an honest season because winter asks that we name what's happening without assigning blame. So you could try something like, my body is just moving a little bit slower right now, and I don't have all the answers, but I'm asking for your patience while I move through it. That kind of tenderness is what intimacy is made of, even if sex is not on the table. So, how do we then move through winter without losing ourselves or each other? First, we acknowledge the season without shame. No urgency. You don't have to pretend you're okay. You don't have to fix it. Second, we want to focus on connection and not arousal. Comfort, even, which worked for me. So, again, cuddling, you could bathe together. I have a friend who she and her husband often bathe together, and I just think that is so beautiful. You could do foot rubs, skin to skin contact without expectation. That is a go to for me and my partner, no matter what season we're in. We prioritize naked cuddles, especially when we are busy or when there's a lot of stuff going on. One of us will usually ask the other, would you like a cuddle? And we automatically know that means that we go into the bedroom, we take off our clothes, and we climb in bed. Sometimes it's in the middle of the day, and it's beautiful. It really does help us stay connected. And again, it's not about desire. It's not about, trying to make something happen. It's just about holding one another. 3, nourish the soil. Winter is the perfect time to tend to what's beneath the surface. That might mean seeing a therapist or hiring a coach. It might look like talking to your doctor or finally having honest conversations about things that one or both of you have been avoiding. 4, I want to invite you to trust the cycle. Spring always comes. And maybe not on your timeline, but it always comes. And when it does, it brings a different kind of bloom and sometimes a different kind of desire. If you are single or just not otherwise partnered or just not with a consistent partner, sexual winter is still yours to honor. Let it be a time for you to come home to your body where you stop performing pleasure and start experiencing it. Notice what feels good without the pressure to make it lead to something. I once worked with someone who felt completely disconnected from her sexuality after she got divorced. She felt like part of her died, which is not an uncommon sentiment. But instead of like trying to push her into feeling again, we didn't try to fix it. We just started with what felt nourishing for her: long walks, swims in the ocean, getting massages, dancing, journaling, sitting still, drinking tea. All these kinds of things that bring us into our body, keep us in the moment. And you know what happened? Her sexuality came back online. Of course it did. And it didn't look like it did before. It was new. It was more her, because that's what winter does. It clears what isn't needed so something deeper can emerge. And let's make something clear. Sexual winter is not the same as sexual trauma. It's not the same as chronic pain. It's not the same of, needing an emotional or a mental break. Sexual winter is just a sacred pause. And if we can stop fighting it, if we can stop trying to skip ahead to spring and summer, we can actually receive what this season is here to give us: a slower pace, a chance to tune in, a deeper trust in our own rhythms. Because love is making space for every season. It's not performing what's not present. It's not pretending you're okay when you're not. Because rest isn't the opposite of passion. It's part of how passion survives, right? Wherever you are in your own sexual cycle, I really do hope that this series helped you feel less alone and more at home in your body and also in nature's wisdom. If you don't hear nothing else I say today, remember that every season is sacred and every season has something to teach you. And before I go, if you want to reconnect with your body and your own pleasure for one is just $10 this month. Use code LOVEIS and treat yourself to something gentle, powerful, and all about you. Until next time, I love you.